Natalie Sharrock. Natalie, please.
Hi everyone. I'd like to clarify, Shayna is not pregnant. For any of you that thought the boy and girl thing, no she's not, yet. For those of you who don't know me, I'm gonna have to go by my script so that I don't get too emotional. I'm Natalie. I am Shayna's college roommate and best friend. I'm also known as granddaughter 7B. Thanks, Bumpy. It means so much to me that Shayna's family has made me feel like one of the sisters, because in my heart, Shayna is my sister. So I made 3 promises. I won't tell any embarrassing stories. I won't cry. I've broken that one already. And being the lightweight that I am, I won't drink before the speech. Had a sip. Mostly so that I can follow through with promises 1 and 2. From the moment I met Shay, I knew she was special. Well, not from the moment I met her. I didn't like her when we first met. Shayna was my pretty next door neighbor that all the guys flirted with. But as soon as we became roommates, true story. But as soon as we became roommates at Brandeis in Renfield 117, literally the first night, I knew we weren't just going to be roommates. I knew she was going to be my best friend. And 12 years later, although it feels like forever, she's more than my best friend. She's more than my sister. She's my person. We know more about each other than we probably care to know. We've laughed together, we've cried together, and we've laughed until we've cried together, and have inside jokes that only we find funny. Joseph Stew, we're the dynamic duo, eating human food on the floor of our kitchen at 3 a.m., passing econ, and being Dr. Flat Tire. My parents know that one too. We've been there for each other through some of the hardest times in our lives, and have been grateful to be there, and have been grateful to be able to experience some of the best years of our lives together. I've had the opportunity to watch Shayna change and evolve into the beautiful, smart, and successful woman that sits before us here tonight. And I am honored to call her my best friend. She is smart, generous, and caring. She has a heart of gold and an innate sense of good that she is willing to stand behind. She puts thought, effort, and dedication into everything she does, and I know Shayna will be an amazing wife. Enough about my best friend. Let's spend a moment talking about Roman, my little Svinia. There was once a story about Johnny Appleseed. Sorry, Shay. I had to do it. It was their 3rd date, and they were supposed to go apple picking. Roman couldn't make it. He got called out to work. So Shayna went with some friends, brought apples home, and they were going to make apple pie that night. The next day, I'm driving home from work. Shayna calls, tells me about the date. Josh is on speakerphone. I don't think I've ever told you that. He heard all the conversation. And she said it was a great date, except for the fact that he would not stop talking about Johnny Appleseed. I told her it was sweet, that he was teaching her something, and just to get over it. All she wanted to do was eat apple pie and make out. Clearly, she got over it. And it worked. So we're sitting here today. This happens to be one of my favorite things about Roman. I'm always learning from him. Roman is her rock. He is supportive, has made Shayna more confident, more reassured, taught her how to trust, makes her feel loved and safe. Roman understands Shay like I do, and that's part of why I love him so much. While planning the bachelorette party, I realized that Roman and I have a lot in common. I gave him a list of questions to answer for a game at her party. It was then that I learned that, like me, Roman knew Sheena wasn't just some girl when they first hung out. I asked him, when he knew he was going to marry her. And he said on the first date, he also loves her squishy nose and her nostrils that wiggle when she laughs, which are two of my favorite things about Shayna as well.
I found it out by myself, though.
Did I teach you the nose?
Nope, I found out by myself.
That one too. Shayna is kind, loving, has taught me how to share. But all kidding aside, Roman, if there's one thing I know, it's that you are not only a great person and the best person for Shayna, but you too have become Shayna's best friend. And there's nobody I would rather share that title with. So I broke all 3 promises, had my sip, cried, told little embarrassing stories. And most importantly, I made it through the speech. Now, let me grab my glass. Let's raise our glasses and toast the beautiful bride and groom to Shayna and Roman.
To Shayna and Roman.
Good job. Hey, Natalie.